welcome. On the cusp of the new century, a new factor appeared on the nutritional scene in India with urban migration, upward mobility and an increasingly sedentary lifestyle because of improvements in technology and transport. Poor dietary habits seem to grasp the entire working population. As the race to climb the corporate ladder took over, the working professionals started to lose the race to good health. Even though universally acknowledged that diet plays an important role in health and well-being, the fact remains that working professionals are not eating a proper diet. So here we are to discuss a very important topic, the big protein impact, how nutrition can help working professionals lead a healthy working life, organized by Moneycontrol in association with Danone. We have brought together an interesting mix of speakers, two experts who will share their expertise on this topic, two very successful entrepreneurs who are physically fit and agile as their businesses, who will share their thoughts on how the combination of right diet and nutrition has played a role in ensuring that they are physically and mentally top of the game. So it is time for me to introduce my esteemed panelists. First up, we have Jimmy Mistry. Jimmy is a serial entrepreneur, designer, hotelier, adventurer, and a real estate developer. Then we have Gotham Chopra, founder and CEO, Beat-O. Beat-O was founded in 2015 when Gotham embarked on a journey to empower people with diabetes with tools that can help them manage their sugar levels. Beat-O. Then we have Nupur Lalwani. She is certified in nutrition and health education. She is the founder director of Blue Circles Diabetes Foundation, a non-profit organization in India. Finally, we have Dr. Madhavi Marathe. She is senior manager healthcare nutrition, Danone India. All of you, welcome to this Moneycontrol special. My first question is to you, Jimmy and Gotham. How has your daily life changed once you progressed in the career ladder with more working hours, erratic schedules and commute?
Well, they say what separates a boy from men is the capacity to bear stress. And I guess it's a kind of conditioning. You get better at doing what you do. If you get better at handling stress, you get better and better each day. Same is the case true if you're in the reverse. If you are bad at handling stress, you will always be stressed all your life, because being an entrepreneur and stress go hand in hand. You cannot be a successful entrepreneur unless and until you are able to handle stress and move with it. In fact, my management skill sets kind of work the best when I'm under absolute stress. I think I'm at my cutting edge at that point in time. And my advice is, the way you handle stress is you identify what gives you stress, what doesn't, and then you arm yourself and train yourself how to handle it.
Also, since you mentioned stress, what is the best way that, you deal with, handling? Is it nutrition? Is it exercise? How do you do it?
It's a combination of nutrition, exercise, and mental agility. Your ability to be able to look at stress in the face and say, okay, I'll take you head on. To do that, you need a strong mind, a strong willpower. And for that, you need a strong body and a healthy body. So I think it's a combination of all of these three things that put together puts you in a fighting fit condition. Unless and until your body is strong, mentally you will not be agile. Unless you're mentally not agile, you can't think with clarity and you can't take stress head on.
Correct. What role does nutrition play, Nupur, in managing stress? And let's say how does one control diet and manage diet in like a stressful lifestyle?
Thanks, Shivani. I think diet is very, very underrated, and I think I sort of made that mistake earlier on as well. So I've been an amateur runner, and I thought, okay, I'm running, I'm healthy, it's all good. But like they say, the abs are made in the kitchen. All of those things are true. So I think the focus on nutrition, now that we're living in these fast-paced times, everyone's got a packet of chips handy, everyone's got something processed with them. So how to make smart choices and, how to really balance your day, your calorific intake, your carbs, that takes a lot of, experience and trial and error.
Correct. Over to you, Gautam. You can also share, your thoughts on how, you balance your work, your company, along with, managing, managing right kind of diet and exercise.
For an entrepreneur, of course, work is equal to life, and at the end of the day, to be able to see the outcome in your health, you have to be able to take time out for yourself, and that also contributes, of course, to ensuring that you can be highly productive and have the mental agility that the rigors of an entrepreneur require you to have. I think it's in general not very easy to create this balance. But I think whether it's any aspect of managing stress or diet or even physical activity, you need to be able to look at what you can do in that. At the end of the day, you just have 24 hours and you need to make the most of it. So for me, what works is, of course, stress management. I love playing with my kids. So whenever there is downtime at work, I would definitely want to spend more time with them, play with them, because that's when I can completely switch off from everything that's that's work. Second, I completely agree with Nupur. Diet plays a very significant role, because I truly believe what you eat is what you become. Now I'm very conscious about definitely what I eat, both in terms of the quality of the food as well as the quantity of the food. And physical activity to most Indians like me doesn't come naturally, and Jimmy is fantastic at it, but we try hard, and I try to inculcate smaller habits. I'm not a very avid fan of perhaps going to the gym or hitting the gym every now and then, but I love sports, so I take out some time to whether it's playing football with the kids, or doing a quick dribble, or otherwise just doing simple hacks in life, right? So I never take the elevator. We sit on the fourth floor. I always walk up the stairs, etc. So you learn how to be able to balance, I think, what works for yourselves, and finding that right cornerstone habit that allows you to put all the wheels in motion is the most important. And at least I believe so far it's a work in progress. I found some of these things to work in my life, but some of I think in the future I'll keep hunting for newer hacks across managing stress, physical activity, as well as of course diet.
Dr. Madhvi, coming from Danone, what are you guys doing to help working professionals meet their daily nutrition and protein requirement?
Danone offers product solutions under the brand name Proteinix. Proteinix has been our legacy brand in the market for past 60 years. People have grown up with Proteinix, and the brand offers protein and essential nutrients to bridge the dietary gap in day-to-day diets of people, including adults. We also have scientifically designed products for pregnant and nursing women and people with diabetes. So it's a portfolio solution which helps people and consumers to bridge protein and nutrient gaps in their diets. Besides the product and the nutrition solutions, our marketing initiatives are focused on creating awareness about protein and good nutrition. It is being said, you can't improve what you can't measure. So we have designed a lot of tools to help people measure their health and nutritional status. To name a few, we have designed Nutri Calculator, which assesses people's diet and finds out the dietary gaps and offer a solution, offer a diet advice, a corrective action plan for their good health and good nutrition. We also have something as quality of life tool, which has been designed based on WHO quality of life questionnaire. Now, during the pandemic, it was found that quality of life of people has been badly affected. It is very important to assess where people stand in terms of their health and quality of life. So this tool helped them to measure quality of life. To give one more example, we have a campaign coming up, which is One Leg Challenge. It involves testing your strength, how strong you are, how your muscles are performing. That is One Leg Challenge. So when you take this challenge, you would come to know about your muscle strength. So these all campaign would create awareness about importance of protein, good nutrition, and exercise for good physical health and well-being. Besides these marketing initiatives and campaign, we are strongly involved in various advocacy initiatives. One of our advocacy initiatives is the Protein Week. Every July last week is celebrated as the Protein Week. From last 5 years, we have been celebrating the Protein Week, where we create awareness about importance of protein and good nutrition among masses. We work and partner with the nutrition experts and nutrition associations to create this awareness among people. So these are the initiatives what we do in terms of our product, services, and advocacy initiatives to create relevance about protein and good nutrition among Indian consumers.
Correct. Also, Gautam, since you operate in this entire healthcare space, can you share with us, because, being in this space and being in this business, you are more, let's say, aware, more, conscious of, the larger healthcare trends that are happening around you. Can you share with us some of the trends that you have seen, around in your own teams, in your own employees, in the company that, you have witnessed?
Access to everything is becoming easier. Zomato is able to deliver, a burger at home very quickly. You're perhaps not walking over to buy groceries anymore, etc., etc. So these are part of, an evolving economy of, a metropolitan lifestyle, which is adding further. I think it's changing habits in perhaps some of these habits not in the right direction. So when you look at the culmination of the fact that most individuals are not taking enough care of themselves. On the other hand, we have lots of progression around technology, which is making perhaps our lifestyle even more sedentary than what it has been. I think we're pretty much sitting on a ticking time bomb.
Correct, correct. Nupur, over to you. They say very commonly that good health begins at home. Some of the easy to do hacks that, you should be aware of while taking care of, your health, while managing the work and, everything that is there on your plate.
Little things that you can do. For example, look at the packet. Everyone eats processed food. We all try to stay away from it. But I think it's a good idea to look at the back of the packet and read the nutritional labels. That is something that a lot of people struggle with. In fact, as part of our NGO at Blue Circle, we conduct workshops where we teach people how to do these things, how to read a nutritional label. Even small tips like walking 15 minutes after meals. These are all things that add up eventually, and you don't have to really climb the Everest all at one day. What you can do is really break it down into small parts and achieve little bits on a daily basis.
Correct, correct. Also, how do you ensure that there is adequate amount of nutrients in your diet, both macro and micro? How can people be more aware of, first of all, these macro and micronutrients, and how can they include it in their everyday diet, and how does it help?
I think the problem these days is the problem is of plenty. We're all consuming, a lot of not just food, but also a lot of information. And there's a lot of conflicting information around about what is right, what is wrong. Some people say eat like your grandmother would eat. Some people say we're living in a new age. Eat, let's do, a certain kind of diet. Let's go vegan. Let's do keto. I think it's important to do what works for you. And it's important to consult with your physician and a professional or an expert, and to see and track your parameters.
Another question to to the entrepreneurs is that what are the things that you should be aware of, or what are the things that you should bring about in your life, changes that you should bring about in your life once you are approaching 40? Because we typically tend to take our health not so seriously in the 20s. Like I have done it. Like I have, stayed up till 1 in the office and gone out for a run at 6 a.m. in the morning. And I have done all of those things. And now I'm much aware of, you know, these things. I will sleep in, I will take rest, I will ensure that I'm eating right and all. So some of the things that I would like to hear from both of you on, you know, things to, you know, keep in mind when you are hitting your 40s.
Shivani, for me, it's always been about moderation. I think in 40s, 30s, 20s, you get to do everything. Of course, you're more irresponsible when you're more younger. But listening to your body, having moderation in all you do, be it eating healthy, be it drinking, be it splurging, you need lots of moderation, and you need to listen to your body as well. A very important part is your body, mind, and soul being aligned. You need to be comfortable with yourself. You need to keep giving kind of jerks to your body and not having a similar routine. So when we fast, we kind of disrupt our day-to-day metabolic rate. The similar way, we need to keep doing things different. So if you're doing strength training, you need to do it different. If you're doing strength training, you go to an extreme, you stop. But at the end of the day, it's moderation that keeps you going. If you start doing stretches suddenly, again, need to practice moderation so you don't land up with a slip disc. I know of so many cases where people have started yoga, and instead of yoga benefiting them or helping them, has landed them with a back trouble and a slip disc. So you just need moderation. You need to condition your body. And the best way to condition something is to temper it. And tempering cannot happen with consistency. Consistently shocking your body at all times creates that tempering. So moderation, tempering of your body, mind, and soul. These are some of the things that I use as hacks. And listening to your body at all points in time, understanding what works for one person may not work for the other. Each one of us, our DNAs, RNAs are very different. And once we're kind of comfortable with that, you know the zone, you know what works for me. I'm very, very acidic. So I know I should refrain. If I'm drinking the earlier night, I need to take another anti-acid the next morning, but also moderate. I have a healthy lifestyle, healthy diet. As natural foods would, I think I'm quite a big subscriber to natural foods, more than processed foods. For me, natural foods work very well. If you're doing that, you can afford to let loose on weekends and control your diet on the weekdays. Eat in moderation. Quantity has to come down. Day by day, one thing common I've learned from physically fit people across, they do not eat a lot. And that's one common consistent factor. How can you reduce your 5 chapatis to 4 and 4 to 3? How can you reduce your quantity of rice into your palm so that you don't overdo it? I mean, kind of moderation and reduction in quantity. These are two things that I will leave as a takeaway for our listeners.
Over to you, Gotham. Jimmy has really built the case for, you know, practicing moderation. What is your tip?
For us, people, you know, between this age of 35, 40, etc., we're anyway, we're quite familiar with technology now. So we need to be more aware of tools that we can use to be able to better diagnose our own selves and then create, you know, tiny habits or, hacks that work for us.
Correct. So you should have better tools at our disposal, and then of course practice moderation are the two tips that you guys have given. Over to you, Nupur. Speaking about protein, protein is often associated with building muscle, with recovery from an illness, recovery from an injury during pregnancy. But what role does protein play, or, what is the significance of having protein in our everyday diet, and how do we do it effectively, especially, when there are so many vegetarians, who have to be really aware and conscious of the, intake of protein in their everyday diet?
I just want to quickly say, Shivani, I'm so glad you asked me this question, because I could talk about protein all day. I am a huge fan of, incorporating, protein in the diet, and I can see the change in my own body. I've had type 1 diabetes since childhood, and in the last 5 or 6 years, I slowly moved to a low carbohydrate diet, which Dr. Bernstein talks about, and I incorporated a lot more protein. So what happens when you put in more protein is that there's a lot more satiety as well. You're not craving a snack like, okay, it's chai time now, let me go get some bhujia, or let me go get something. That doesn't happen happen with me any longer. I would really be craving snacks every now and then, but with a hearty meal of protein, you can be rest assured that you're not going to feel hungry. That's one big benefit. The second big benefit is that as diabetics, protein, when there's enough protein in the diet, that means that you are probably eating a little less carbohydrates, and that's been a wonderful thing for me. My quick message for the people that are watching this: if your body is doing its job, if it's doing what it's supposed to do, don't take it for granted. It may not stay this way forever. So protein really is the fulcrum of a diet. And the last thing I want to say for vegetarians that are struggling with protein intake, I think that there's a lot of options these days. There's a lot of foods like tofu and lots of other natural sources. You could also consult with your medical professional and explore protein powders. It's a decision that you have to take with your doctor and your nutritionist, but I think it's really, really important to focus on the protein.
Dr. Madhavi, can you also explain to us the impact of lack of protein in our everyday diet?
Protein is a macronutrient which is essential for everybody in day-to-day diet. Protein plays a very important role in children in terms of growth, in adults in terms of strength and stamina, and as we're all aware, protein plays a very important role in immune function. Inadequate protein or lack of protein in diet can lead to various health issues. It can cause illness, it can lead to weakness and fatigue. There are many surveys and studies which have conducted recently in India have shown that Indian adults have diets that are deficient in protein. There are a lot of myths around protein due to which people do not take adequate protein in their diets. People feel that bodybuilders need protein. Small amount of vegetables can make up their protein intake, but that's not so. Everybody needs to take adequate amount of protein. There are also studies and surveys in India recently shown that Indians also have high fat mass and poor muscle mass, and this could lead to lower strength in Indian population. This could be due to low protein intake as well as lack of physical activity and good amount of exercise in day-to-day diet. You yourself can check how strong you are, or assess your strength by doing one leg challenge. It's a challenge, it's a test or assessment to see how active you are and how your muscles are performing in how strong they are. So this is a challenge, a simple test where you fold your both arms and stand erect on 2 feet, then lift one of your foot and try to stay in that position as long as possible you can. So how long you're able to hold this position relates to the strength as per your age, and that is what this one leg challenge would tell you. It will assess your strength for your age. So you could try this challenge to see yourself how much is your strength for your age, if you're doing adequate exercise and if you're taking adequate protein in your diet.
Over to you, Jimmy. Any specific, and since you're so much into fitness, any specific diet that you have followed that has really worked for you, and that's something that you've recommended to others?
I firmly believe, like I said earlier, moderation. A diet that works for me is natural veggies in the morning, a very heavy breakfast in the morning, and followed by lunch and evening snack and dinner. So 4 meals a day, but the meals taper down as the day goes. Definitely the night meal is not the heaviest. The morning meal is the heaviest. That works for me. I am allergic to dairy products, so I try and stay away from that. But I do shock my body every now and then, in spite of knowing I'm allergic to it. So I love shocking my body and enjoying everything in life. But a heavy protein diet definitely helps. Less on carb helps. It also depends upon different times in life. Your body doesn't react same to same foods. It reacts differently to different foods. So it's important to try understanding and giving it variation. Nutrients, micronutrients come with different kinds of foods, which we may be aware, may not be aware. So I would again suggest try and keep doing cycles and changes non-stop. Don't let your body stabilize to something consistently because the body craves for these nutrients and micronutrients. Psychologically, we crave for certain foods at certain points in time. Give it to your body. So if you feel like having chai and stop coffee, do that. If you feel like having fresh fruits and juices, have it. It's all a matter of what your body is craving and emotionally what you're craving for. Give it to yourself.
Correct. That's a great thought, actually. Yes. Gautam, over to you. Since you mentioned that you follow these small hacks on an everyday basis, like not taking the elevator, climbing the stairs. Any particular sports activity that that you really enjoyed and that really helped you beat stress in life?
Yeah, sure. So Shivani, I think just taking one step back to add to what Jimmy was saying. Unfortunately, we are having this conversation because in our country, I mean, there is a very heavy carb consumption, right? So whether it's the south or the north or the east, we eat a lot of carbohydrates, and most of our staples are actually carbohydrates, right? So so it becomes extremely important to have a good amount of protein in the diet. In fact, this is something that we face day in and day out at Beto, because many people who've come in, their intake of protein is relatively less, and the carbs that they're on is very high. So what we end up doing, and this also works for me, of course, like I said, about making tweaks and understanding the reaction of your body towards that, or your glucose levels, or any other proxy health metric that you may have. So what helps is, like Jimmy also said, you make certain tweaks in your diet, and when, for example, our nutritionists etc. are prescribing a certain diet, it's not going to be always the same. You basically start looking at a person's kitchen, their budgetary needs, their behavior, and their preferences, and then tweak their diets. And while you are able to now use digital tools and monitoring to instantly pretty much see the benefit, or otherwise the non-benefit of it, you can start tweaking those what you're prescribing to individuals. So I think it's just adding doses of physical activity in my case, because I'm not a very regular with like I said, with going to the gym, etc. But having maybe a short duration, 15-minute to half an hour of a high intensity game, as well as then being able to make tweaks to my diet, and then correspondingly keep seeing and observing what it's doing to my health overall. I think that would be at least the way I look at things.
Dr. Madhavi, we often speak about quality nutrition. So can you share with us, what does quality nutrition really mean?
Well, quality nutrition includes diversity and balance of diet, which reflects basically all the essential nutrients and energy in your diet. If we talk about a balanced diet, it includes aspects: what you eat and how much you eat every day. These are two important aspects of a balanced diet. Now, it's an important question: how do we ensure a balanced diet and good quality nutrition in day-to-day life? I would like to give instance here for my plate, or my thali, which is a representation of food groups designed by National Institute of Nutrition. This is basically representation of 7 food groups, which includes grains, protein foods, fruits and vegetables, fats and oils, nuts and oilseeds, and dairy products. So if your diet is representative of these 7 food groups in right adequate amount, it provide you good quality nutrition. Now, how do we meet this for busy working professionals? You take an instance of a typical breakfast in city like Mumbai. It could be either poha, a bowl of that, or a vegetable sandwich, which would mainly provide you grains and some part of vegetables. But when you talk about nutrition quality, what you could do to improve quality of this kind of a breakfast is to add a handful of nuts, add a glass of milk or lassi, egg if you're a non-vegetarian, and a fruit. That would improve nutrition quality and bring a balance in the diet. So this can ensure a balanced diet, good nutrition. Another problem what the working professionals usually face is unhealthy snacking habits. It could be due to a busy schedule or delayed meeting. People do not eat food on time and they get hungry, reach out to unhealthy snacks, either package or order them. Instead of that, carrying some handy, healthy snacks such as fruits, a handful of nuts, or maybe roasted chana could be a good healthy option. So this would be the approach used to make your diet balanced and bring in quality nutrition in day-to-day diet for healthy well-being.
Over to you, Nupur. Can you share with us some of an advice that you have given working professionals to improve their overall nutrition profile?
Yes, so I want to quickly mention that for working professionals who are pressed on time and they may or may not have help in the kitchen, then like mentioned earlier, there's Zomato and Swiggy and whatnot. You can still make intelligent choices. Like if you're ordering a butter chicken and naan, for example. I mean, let's face it, we are going to continue using these services, so you might as well pick a chicken tikka instead, or you make an intelligent choice so that you don't not socialize. You can continue living your lifestyle the way you want to, but just make smarter choices. Another question that we often have is that if you exercise a lot, and if you don't eat enough carbs, are you really going to not have enough energy? And I want to share my own example here. So I've been running the Mumbai Marathon pretty much since it started, and I used to carb load like a good runner is supposed to. So I would eat pasta and I would eat khichdi and whatnot. But I think what I've learned over the years, in the last 5 or 6 years since going low carb, is that protein is really the building blocks. I mean, like they say, there are essential amino acids, there are essential fatty acids, but there is no essential carbohydrate. So really, you're not losing anything if you don't continually stuff yourself with carbohydrate while you're running or you're exercising or working out.
I would like to understand from Gotham and Jimmy, both of you, often we hear working professionals say that we don't have time to at all put in any time for workout or exercise, or take out any time to do any sort of physical activity. Both of you run companies. Can you share with us how do you take out that time, and your tip to these working professionals?
I'm not a morning person, but I try and manage, most part of my life, I manage my workouts late night. They go as late as 12 o'clock and 12:30 in the middle of the night to do a workout, which is not very good for sleep. But if you need the workout, you need the workout. There is no choice. So if you really wish to do it, you will find time to do it. And it depends whether you're a morning person, you will prefer a morning workout. You're a late morning person, you'll prefer an evening workout or a night workout. But it also depends upon your mindset. For me personally, workout helps me to deal with my stress. I've noticed when I stop my workouts, I am not able to manage stress that easily as I would be doing it otherwise. So it's super important. And more the amount of stress you need, more aggressive workouts that kind of works counterintuitively towards managing it for me.
Okay. Gautam, how many people in your office are motivated to take on the stairs instead of the elevator, seeing you walk up?
It's a matter of choice. You need to be self-motivated to be able to do it. Nobody can spoon feed you, what you really should be doing. Your own health should be the biggest motivator for you. Having said that, I think today's work environment, which has become a lot more hybrid, I mean, people, working from home, etc. I think that that can be seen as a glass is half full too, because you perhaps have shorter time window between calls, etc. Just to do small activities, physical activities that can help you, maybe just, for example, if somebody is talking on the phone, rather than, sitting down, you just get up and keep walking around. You can get to your 10,000 steps just doing that these days when you're on your calls. So things like that, I think you need to, assess your own lifestyle, your own priorities, and then fit fitness or physical activity within that. And of course, you need to be somewhat motivated yourself to be able to do it. You can only take horse to the well.
Well, thank you so much. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure.
That was panel of experts sharing with us how nutrition and exercise can help working professionals lead a healthy working life. Thank you for watching this Money Control special in association with Danone. Goodbye.